Hello, Richard from budgetkeyboardist.com here. I've been a huge fan of Drummer in Logic Pro for years, basically. It's the fastest, easiest way to come up with drums for your track, assuming you learn how to use it. I've never really felt the need to get anything else. And yet I did. After a lot of nerdy research, I bought Easy Drummer 3 on sale for $129 on Black Friday. So why'd I buy it? This video will cover some of the reasons. Before we get to the list, I want to say that these are two tools that are very different, got different strengths, different weaknesses. Most people are going to prefer one or the other. I mean, I'm always looking for new ways to do things because, like, I enjoy those happy accidents that are hard to come by when you've been using a tool that you're used to, that you've been using for decades. But anyway, let's jump to the list. 1. Logic Pro Drummer's outputs are very integrated into Logic Pro. Easy Drummer outputs aren't. So let's say you want to grab a drum kit and route each drum to its own channel in Logic so you can do things like, add a gated reverb to the snare and just the snare. With Logic Pro, just choose a producer kit. Done. Every drum has automatically been routed to the mixing channel and labeled. Or choose a drum machine like Lindrum and you get the same thing automatically. Now you can accomplish something similar in Easy Drummer by using multi-output, but you only get 16 stereo pairs and you have to do all the labeling in Logic yourself. Okay, so to be fair, you ought to be just fine with 16 stereo tracks, and once you've set the thing up, you can save it as a template, so you never have to do it again unless you change drum kits. Ouch. You could set up a Logic Pro template for each kit, but no one's going to do that. Now, I don't blame Easy Drummer for this. It has to work with every DAW. 2. Easy Drummer works with every DAW. Ta-da! So if you're not a Logic user, well, you can't run Drummer. It's fairly easy to integrate Easy Drummer with any DAW because it's a standalone product and it always works the same way. Now, this is a plus. When I do live gigs, I run Ableton Live. I also play backing track stems, so I don't need Easy Drummer Live, but I could use it if I wanted to. 3. Both programs can generate a drum part based on a separate track, but it's much better integrated into Logic Drummer. I mean, you just select a track in the session. That's it. With Easy Drummer, you have to bounce the track out and then drag it back in. I mean, so far, Logic Drummer sure seems easier and faster than Easy Drummer. 4. Both have a built-in step grid editor, but Easy Drummer's is way, way, way better. Logic Drummer's editor is super simple, and it only includes kick and snare. Easy Drummer gives you access to the whole kit. That's huge. It's so much better. 5. They both have a humanize function, but Logic Drummer gives you an easier method for doing things like tweaking drum fills. You move a little slider and just keep listening. Easy Drummer is mostly centered around a collection of MIDI files. And fortunately, every single file is already humanized, right? But quite frankly, there aren't enough of them in the basic setup. You can buy more, though, and that is super cool and super useful, and I probably will. 6. Logic Drummer has a lot more built-in drum kits, but Logic Drummer doesn't give you the ability to tap in a beat and then have it come up with similar beats, and that's a killer feature that Easy Drummer has over Logic Drummer. And speaking of killer features, there are more. 7. You can't expand the drum kits in Logic Drummer. You can't buy more. I'd happily buy more if Apple sold them or if third parties sold them, but they don't. But you can buy more kits and corresponding beats for Easy Drummer. And there will be more in the future that you can buy. Expandability is important to me, and this is the biggest problem with Logic Drummer. 8. Easy Drummer has some solid tools built in for putting songs in the kind of like verse, pre-chorus, chorus format, right? Logic Pro does too, but the tools in Easy Drummer are faster. Unfortunately, they don't automatically import into Logic Pro, so you're gonna have to use Logic Pro's songwriting format tools anyway. But you can sketch out a whole song's drum part in Easy Drummer that you can't in the same way in Logic Drummer. And you can copy the whole thing over when you're done. 9. I'm a massive fan of Logic Drummer. I've used it for years, and I definitely have a bias towards it. But I do believe that Easy Drummer sounds better. Now, I don't know how many samples Logic Drummer uses for, say, a snare drum, but whatever that number is, I think there's more in Easy Drummer. At least that's what my ears are telling me. Not only that, but after so many years of hearing the same collection of kits, I'm really happy with some of the new drum kits that I've got in Easy Drummer. They're going to be all over my next album. They sound phenomenal. 10. Even though Logic Drummer is faster and easier to use because it has better integration with Logic Pro, I do think that Easy Drummer is a great addition to the Logic Pro Bass Studio. I mean, it sounds fantastic. It's not hard to learn the basics. And if you add a bunch of extension packs, you're going to have a whole lot of new cool drum kits and cool new drum patterns to play with. So if you've been using Logic Drummer for years like me, Easy Drummer will give you another way of writing drum parts for your songs. Similarly, if you use Logic and you haven't explored Logic Drummer, you really should. It's fast and fun to use, and even if you end up using Easy Drummer instead, it's a different way to come up with drum parts. As keyboard players, we understand that our synth plugins can be radically different from each other, and we're okay with that. Well, I think of drum programming the same way. Sometimes getting out of your comfort zone is like just the thing to kickstart your songwriting, and Easy Drummer is indeed easy to get started with, hence the name. Plus, it sounds great. And if you discover you love it, there is an upgrade path to getting Superior Drummer, which offers even better sounds and even more power, and it's even more complicated. This is the point where in the teleprompter it says, as always, thank you for watching, but I have a few more things to say. I'm going to go off script. Reading a lot of online chatter about like Easy Drummer versus Superior Drummer, it's laughable to see people say things like, Easy Drummer sounds terrible. Oh, it's not pro quality. Superior Drummer is so much better. This is like such a placebo effect, right? So Superior Drummer does use more drum samples, and you could argue that it might sound better, I guess, but all of that's going to disappear in the mix, It's kind of like this guy here. I've got this Behringer Poly D. I've played a real Mini Moog, and I've also got the Arturia Moog Mini Moog plugin. All three of them in a track with drums and vocals and all the other stuff. You're not telling them apart, the average person. You got to be a really serious hardcore keyboard snob. So this snobbery about Apple Drummer versus, Easy Drummer versus Superior Drummer, like if the drums sound good, they sound good. Ultimately, people are going to hear the song, and no matter what you use to make the song, they're going to like the song or they're not going to like the song. You can make great music with any DAW, with any computer, with any drum software. And the one other thing that I meant to mention, it's totally possible to do your programming, your drum programming, in Logic Drummer, convert it to MIDI, right? And then basically remap it for one of the Easy Drummer drum kits. Like, that's totally possible. I've done it. So, that's another option too. Okay. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.